Hey everybody, welcome back to Lemon Branch Travels, and today this is going to be a real treat. We are heading to one of the most picturesque villages in all the world, perhaps one of the most Instagram worthy, and definitely I'm sure you've come across the pictures of it, and this is actually Hallstatt, Austria. Now this is such a beautiful place, nestled here on Hallstatt Lake and between these amazing alpine peaks. It is a place like nothing you've ever seen before, so stick with us. We are going to show you the ins and out of the village. Let's get started. You know, those who travel have stories to tell, so let's go tell a story. Okay, everybody, we finally made it to Vienna. We are so excited to finally be here. We just got off the plane. Could not have been faster and easier to go through immigration and customs, and then we went straight to the rental car, and now we've got the rental car and we're just leaving the airport. So that's kind of where we're at. We're just so glad that we're finally here. It's 8:40 in the morning, and so we landed at about 8:15, so it's about how long it took us, about half an hour exactly, to go through customs, get our bags, all that, immigration, the whole works, and get our rental car. Everything went really, really smooth. So yeah, it's about a half an hour and we are already driving in away from the airport. It's kind of interesting. I will say this, the rental cars that you can get here, a lot of them are manual. So if you book your reservation, they have all the major car rental companies here in Vienna, and we got ours through Alamo because it ended up being the best price. So how did we find it? We went through hotwire.com, and then when we got here, you can modify things a little bit if you are worried about the reservation, but since I didn't want to have to be worrying about a manual as well as navigating maps and things like that here, I opted for the automatic. So we have, there's Charlie back there, and there's Brax. And so we did get an SUV so we could put the luggage in the back. It's got plenty of room in the back. Charlie's living in style back there with all of her empty backpacks. Well, they're not empty backpacks, but the empty back seat, so we could put the backpacks back there. But we have plenty of room for what we need.
All right, so we just got out of the city. We're headed to Hallstatt, and out here, it's 130 is the speed limit. Just what did it just go down to, Braxton? 100? Okay. And here's some of the scenery we've got going on. Look at these beautiful green.
Okay, this is our apartment here in Hallstatt. So there's our two cars, and they have a little studio right there above the garage, and we are the top floor, the whole top floor, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, but it's all we need. But look at the view right here. Unbelievable. Absolutely gorgeous. I wanted to get this before it gets too dark. I will show you the apartment when we get back, but this is the cute little village that we're actually staying in. So there's this little tiny road that we can go up and down with the cars. I was going to call it a truck. I'm so used to saying my truck. But this is the road that we drove up, and now we're just going to walk down into the town, and we're going to go wander around a little bit and get some food. And I am going to tell you, it's pretty crazy. It is the 18th of, actually, it's now the 19th. Lose track of time when we got delayed with all those flights. But anyway, it's the 19th of May, and it's cold. It's like really cold here. So we all have our jackets on because it's pretty wild. So yeah, this is a pretty fun place. It's just beautiful here. Check this out. That is one side. Are you kidding me right now? So that's one side of the mountain, and then right there the other. I mean, literally, look at this. Absolutely incredible. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have ever been to Hallstatt, and what was your experience here, because this is my first time and it is absolutely incredible. Now you guys know where you need to come. Plan your trip to Hallstatt. Absolutely awesome. I'm gonna flip this around too, because look, there's some fun shops along the way here. You can pick up some really cool stuff. Look at these dresses. Okay, the views are just not disappointing. This is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so check it out. We're just going to continue to walk down here along the river, but look at how the architecture and look at all of these. The amount of hours to train that tree. You know, it kind of reminds me of, but not to this scale, is Bellagio on Lake Como.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's very similar to this. It has all but they're shops. They're not houses and apartments. It's mostly shops. It's not as steep, but yeah, it's terraced like this all the way up, and there's restaurants and shops, but it's right overlooking Lake Como. Okay, there's so many of these fun little shops just along the street here. How pretty that is. Okay, this is a famous market square. And check out the church. Did you guys know that this is actually an ancient city? In fact, it's one of the oldest still inhabited settlements here in Europe, with evidence of human activity that goes all the way back 7,000 years. And the reason people came here in the first place, and we get to go there tomorrow, and that is because of salt. There is a ton of salt here. Okay, one thing that's cool, I don't know the story behind them, but there is two churches like literally right next to each other. So we've got one there up on the hill, and then I'm standing right in front of another one right here. So Hallstatt sits on the shores of Lake Hallstatt. And there's less than 1,000 people that live here, but it's world famous, and for a good reason. Not just Instagram. These houses cling to the edge of the mountains. They're wooden balconies draped with flowers in the summer, and I understand that in the winter, the entire place looks like a snow globe.
And my mom designed, because that's what you do, so you can eat out.
Yes, it's completely a storybook town. Especially like everywhere you go here, there's another angle and there's another shot. There's another just amazing thing to look at. And here we are up on this parking terrace, and then you can just look down at all these roofs and to the church. And it's so cool to see them as they're starting to come alive with the lights at night. Okay, so we got a good picture of this while we were down in the town, but we were pretty far away, so now we can get right up next to it and check out that waterfall right there. Is that just gorgeous or what? That is absolutely gorgeous. Now, where we took that picture is down that way. You can barely see, there's a little bit of a park, like right there somewhere. We were down there, looking back the other way. I love how I just point. You see my finger come into the screen. Okay, so we're just kind of walking back down from those upper levels and that upper church, and there's just all these little stairways and pathways up and down the hill here in between all of these buildings and houses. So we're just kind of cutting back down this way. It's a little bit faster than going all the way back out, back the other way and down the other side. But look, there's all these random parking lots along the way too. Like just cars mysteriously can get here. Just follow these streets down. So look, everywhere you look, it's just a different street to get to homes. Isn't this such an amazing little town? Yeah, see, look, isn't that just awesome? I think we're going to try and come back tomorrow when everything's open. Okay, now we're back into the town square, the center of town. It's kind of cool. I wonder if this is like in Italy where you can just fill up your water bottle. I'll have to ask, but I am suspicious that that's a place where you can maybe just fill up your water bottle. All through Italy, you'll see stuff like this, and it's totally culinary water that's safe to drink. But I have a feeling that you can do that here. Okay, I wanted to give you a quick tour of the little apartment that we got here in Hallstatt. So it's kind of interesting. We're on the top floor of this little house, and this is actually the front door. So I'm going to flip it around, and then I'll just kind of walk you through it. This right here is actually the front door. It's a big sliding glass door. And so anybody who wants to can actually walk up to the top of these stairs and see right through. But this is the actual front door. And so they gave us a key that we can just open up the lock there. And this is the main entrance. So there's a hallway here that leads into a kitchen, but I'll show you. So there's a hallway here, and it leads to, there's 2 bedrooms down that way, a bathroom, and a toilet room. I'll show you that in a second. But here's the kitchen. Let's take a look at the kitchen, which is a really spacious kitchen for European standards. So this is a really nice big kitchen with a nice big table. So you can have quite a few people in here when you're cooking or whatever. And of course, there's the freezer and the fridge. So you've got everything you need. It's a full kitchen, dishwasher, and all the good stuff. So that's pretty, I'm amazed at how big this is for the size of this apartment. Then coming in here is the first guest bedroom. And so you've got like a mattress that's just kind of barely off the floor there. So that's one mattress. Then there is a couch here. I think that you can make this into a bed. You can see it's got a chaise lounge on it. And then, so you could have another person there, and maybe a small person there. I don't think this is a couch bed. It might be though. Is that I don't know if it is a couch bed. But anyway. So yeah, there's a couch bed there. So coming down the hall, we have another bedroom that's right here. It looks like it's a king size bed, which is pretty crazy for there again being in Europe. Another bedroom, and there's a queen size bed in here, as well as the closets or these standalone cupboards. Okay, so here is the bathroom for this little apartment. We've got a shower here up against the wall, and then what's cool is they give you a hair dryer, and there's a washer actually in here. So that's a nice touch. And then, yeah, just some nice little touches in here, a chair and this nice towel rack. Looks like there's a mop bucket there and a drying rack behind the door. And then down the hall, and this is something they do here, and there is a separate room just for the toilet. So that is this little apartment. So yeah, it's as far as European standards go, this is a pretty nice big place. I will leave the description down below on how we found this place if this is something that you are interested. It's about a 10-minute walk to downtown, where we just went and did all the fun, everything that we did tonight. So anyway, it's pretty good location, and there's parking here. Okay, so there you have it, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been such an amazing place to be here in Hallstatt. I love it here. I highly recommend coming here, and not just because of Instagram. It is actually that beautiful. It's stunning. It has, this is an old city. This has been around for 7,000 years. So It's, you know, something that you just have to put on your list. Make sure you come here. Tomorrow we are going to the salt mine here. I cannot wait. I understand that that is just an absolute amazing must-do here. So make sure you stay tuned because we have that coming up. We also have more of this whole Austria series. We're heading into Bavaria. We're going to go see Neuschwanstein and some of these amazing places here. So if you did like this, make sure you hit that thumbs up. And like I said, we're going to be doing so much stuff here. Make sure you subscribe because you don't want to miss any more of these awesome videos here from Austria. And it really does help our channel out so much. And like I said, this is such a fun thing for me to bring this to you. Thanks again. Appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next video.